I just want to discuss the president. If you know maybe what you think, you can write some stuff on the YouTube comments page. My questions in regards to a lot of things, I guess, just off the top of my head. Energy policy. Drilling out in the Gulf. Why is he on vacation so often? I agree with the drone strikes in Afghanistan and Waziristan and probably Pakistan, even though it could incite a war with the population. But there's some certain gimmies that he needs to do, and he said he was going to do. Number one being our renewable energy policy. Where are the wind farms in the Midwest? The T. Boone's Pickens plan. If he's right and it's the largest wind corridor in the world, from Canada to Mexico in the Midwest, where's the windmills? Why are we spending whatever the billion-dollar price tag was on for high-speed rail from Washington to Florida or wherever the hell it was, when once you get off a train, unless they have a subway or a bus system that's really good, you have to get picked up by somebody. You have to take a cab. It'd make much more sense to do DC to New York to Boston and have a stretch out to Chicago. And then on the last leg, if you have the money, build it out to California. But you don't make one to Florida. Where's the next one going to go? To Texas? They don't even like rail. Unless, you got the more moderates. I think it's in Dallas or whatever. The point is, if you only have a finite amount of resources, why are we putting them in a high-speed rail right now? There was a graphic somewhere a long time ago, and I have the link, of how many square miles of the surface area of the Earth would you need for solar arrays. And it's like, it was such a small amount. I remember at the end of Bush's term, maybe just as Obama started, California put somebody stopped solar panel development in Death Valley, California, where all the sand in the world is, where you could have the biggest array you could ever want because of an environmental impact study. On what? I don't know. Cactuses and scorpions. So the point is we could have had. Look, everyone knows that if Gore was president instead of Bush after 9/11, one of the first things he would have did, and nobody would have been able to stop it, was to have a Manhattan Project on renewable energy projects in the United States. We would have been beginning solar arrays in Death Valley. Probably could have powered all of California by now. Made it not mandatory, but made it a huge incentive to have solar arrays on your house. Now you can argue, okay, if we did that after 9/11, the solar panels that have come out since are 10 or 20% more efficient than back then. Yeah, you could argue that, but at least we're making the right moves and going in the right direction. In a lifespan, even 8 years ago, those solar panels, you're talking 60, 80 year life expectancy. The point is, we're not even getting to geothermal and tidal energy resources. And then we poked that hole in the Gulf. And you don't have to be an engineer to know how many Millions of tons of weight is on that floor. And you're going to poke a hole? It's like taking a balloon and pushing it under 100 gallons of water and just bringing a prick of a freaking needle next to it. They poked the hole through that membrane. I saw some stuff online where they measured the pressures out of the head. It was 150 times what that valve could have handled. And now he because of the energy, this is March 2nd, 2011. Yesterday they said Obama's going to allow deep drilling again because they have the right safeguards supposedly in place to handle, whatever. So they're going to allow this company to go back to its rig and keep drilling. The point is, I keep saying the point is, there's a million points. So where's all the windmills, Obama? Where's all the windmills? Where's the solar arrays in Death Valley? In the Dust Bowl that we in the military so knowingly love it as? There's nothing there. It's perfect. And you're still doing oil exploration. I mean, yeah, of course you need it, but electric runs a lot of stuff. Yeah, of course tractor trailers can't run on electricity. I know that. But that's what you save the diesel for. You're going to have to run 80% of this country on electric renewables at some point and save the rest, the coal and the diesel and the gas, for things that you can't attach a cord to or put batteries in, like tractor trailers. You got to run a big train on coal. You ain't putting batteries in that thing. Stuff like that. Stuff that needs a lot of horsepower. But the rest, your lights, you get LED lighting in your house. We're still dealing with the screwed up fluorescents. Not screwed up, they're more efficient, but they drain this vitamins right out of your body. On and on and on. So where's the renewables? Still got 2 wars going on and no renewables. When these wars are basically over resources. Zbigniew Brzezinski was one of your chief advisors, Mr. Obama. I saw that guy's video on the Grand Chessboard, his book, saying where the next war is going to be within 2 years of him writing that book, or whatever the span of time was. But he did it in advance. The Middle East, Afghanistan, for resources. So China can't make a move. So we can take over, moving to Iraq. I heard about the Chinese having contracts in there on the ground. And if they stepped 1 foot into Iraq, we wouldn't be able to, control Iraq after that. So we launched the invasion. I don't know what's true and what's not true anymore. It's just funny that we end up in the 2 Middle Eastern countries that we could still go in and get a foothold into, that have instability enough for us to stay there for 8 years. We didn't invade Saudi Arabia or Bahrain or United Arab Emirates. Oh, but they're all pals of ours. They're not. They're going along with us. And now you're watching all these countries tumble. Somebody said that about Saddam. I think it was Bob Baer. That there were plans on the table how to topple Saddam without going to war. And nobody wanted to listen to him. They weren't his plans, but he was talking about it. Nobody wanted to listen to it. Could have did it for $50 million or whatever. And it's exactly what's happening right now in these governments. You buy up, you pay people to riot in the streets, and you start a whole thing. Not that these people don't want a revolution. Just that you can give it a little push, as he says in Batman.